Hey everybody, and welcome to the Logan Power Show. It's me, your host, Calvin Logan. It's an honor and it's a privilege. We always say here at the Logan Power Show, we want to be the first to get the right people in the right place. Well, we want to definitely give him congratulations and his first time here at the Logan Power Show, the new mayor of Summerville, South Carolina, Mr. Rick Warren. How you doing, sir?
Doing good. How about you?
Glad to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you. Glad to be here.
Yes, sir. So, if you have been following November the 5th, big time here in Summerville, South Carolina, uh, it was a close race. And Mr. Bill Hearn lost to Mr. Rick Warren, definitely. So, what is the game plan? You are the mayor of Summerville, South Carolina. So, what's going on?
Well, right now I'm just mayor-elect. I get sworn in on January the 2nd,
Okay.
and what we're doing right now is just kind of learning our way around. Um, one new councilman got sworn in, was going to get sworn in with me on January 2nd. So we had a meeting this past week with our staff. They had a meeting with us, I ought to say. They called a meeting, and we met and found out what they've been doing and what they hope to be doing in the future. So,
Okay.
right now we're kind of tiptoeing around and finding out our ways of what we probably will be doing in 2020. So, a little bit about my past and why I decided to run, if you want to hear about that.
Absolutely.
My involvement with the town started in 1969. I became a volunteer fireman. So I've been
Okay.
around the town for a long time. Was fire chief for 25 years, public safety director for a few years, and operations director, which almost everybody fell under that heading for a few years before I retired. So when I retired and left the town, I thought I was done with the town, but then I ran for council and served 8 years on town council.
Okay.
Got off of council after 8 years because I thought I'd done enough. And retired with Berlin Myers, who was our mayor for 40 years, and that is who I worked with for all those years. And I was satisfied, but then we got a mayor and council that could not work together, and I sat back and watched the town, I felt like, go backwards for 4 years. And I'm not one to criticize by letters to the editor or verbally boisterous, but I watched and I didn't know how to do anything about it other than just get involved again.
Got it.
So that's why I decided to run for mayor. So for 13 months I campaigned hard. It kept me busy, busier than what I wanted to be for 13 months every day, most nights. And like you say, it was a very close race. Bill Hearn was a great campaigner. He was a friend of mine when we started, and he's still a friend today.
Yes.
We never had a crossword.
Amen.
We agreed to do that before we started, and that's how it went for 13 months for he and I. We attended a lot of things together. We sat together. We talked. It was a good, clean race. If he would have won, I know the town would have been in good hands, and he agreed with me that if I'd have won, the town would be in good hands. So that's how that went. He's still on county council. We'll have a great working relationship,
Okay.
with him on county council and me being mayor of Somerville. So we're looking forward to working together. I'm looking forward to working with our town council and trying to get the town back on the right track.
Amen.
So that's where we are right now.
Okay.
So
Absolutely.
hopefully that's going to work good.
Definitely gonna work good.
Yeah.
What is it that you want to get accomplished in your first term?
Well, when I was running, my main concerns by a questionnaire that I sent out is to try to satisfy the citizenry. We got back those questionnaires, we got a lot of them back. People's main concerns, really like 95% of the questionnaires we got back were traffic, as you know, being here. Traffic is sure a terrible problem that we have. Growth has been unmanageable. I'm not going to say it's totally out of control, but it sure is. It's just we got growth is good, but we got it coming in so fast that we can't keep up with it. Our infrastructure's gotten, out of hand. So we're going to work on that, I think, first to try to see where we can go from there. It's a regional problem. It's not a Summerville problem. It's a Charleston County, Berkeley County, and Dorchester County problem, and the cities from within.
Mm.
So we got to try to pull everybody together, hopefully in this first year, and get everybody on track. When I mean everybody, every government official in 3 counties, hopefully we can get everybody together to try to start planning what we can do about this traffic and the growth. Because if everybody doesn't get on board, we're not going to make it work.
Absolutely,
So
absolutely.
that's probably what I would like to see accomplished. And by talking to some of the other guys already, I think they want to see that accomplished too. So.
Absolutely, I want to see it accomplished too. For those who don't are not aware of what he's mentioning, I-26 westbound, 526, those are very heavily populated interstates. They pretty much are the beacon from Summerville all the way down to Charleston, even cutting through into Mount Pleasant. So Summerville right now, it's supposed to be the town of Summerville, but now it's becoming big city Summerville when you think about it now. Besides fixing the interstate, fixing this traffic congestion, what else do you want to get done?
Drainage is a top priority. We've had some flooding, which that's more of a localized problem when it comes to what we can fix in Somerville. I know that other people have flooding problems too outside the city limits, but we are working on that now. The staff's been working on that for the last year or so. So that's something we can continue to do and will continue to do to try to take care of some of these areas in the low-lying parts of town to try to correct some of these flooding issues and improve our drainage systems.
Okay.
That's a big issue.
Absolutely.
And we also want to put in some more sidewalks and walking paths and things, that the public can have to get out of some of this traffic when they're on bicycles and footpaths, that they don't have to worry about getting run over with some of this uncontrolled traffic I'm talking about.
Yeah, you're not lying about that. Get some more sidewalks around here.
Yeah.
So we're gonna your main goal. You want to get definitely cover the interstate problem, get the congestion together. We want to get the drainages down, sidewalks. Anything else you want to get accomplished?
Berlin Myers Parkway, and I don't know whether you're familiar with that, but you know where it is now. There's a final leg to that we've been trying to get approved. When I say we, when I was on council, when I worked with the town, and it's just been sitting there with the Army Corps engineers holding it up, and that final leg, and that's priority one, that we get that final leg released from the Army Corps and get it completed. And that'll take a lot of traffic off of Main Street and some other thoroughfares like Central Avenue coming out this way where we are now. We are already working on that right now as we speak, and hopefully we can get that final leg, and that's local traffic, not necessarily 26 and on 526, but that's something that we are working on, and hopefully we can get that permitted this coming year in 2020, and hopefully by the end of the year we can start construction on that.
Absolutely, gotcha. Now Somerville education has been very high, and you got a lot of schools. And is anything like you want to see done, like school wise, like another big school be put in place or anything from that?
Well, the town doesn't have any jurisdiction over the school district.
Okay.
That's a county issue.
Sure.
I would certainly, personally, I'm very, for our school district and for betterment of our school district anyway. We got a great school district. We used to have the #1 school district in the state, and I'd like to see us get back to that. It takes a lot of money to run our school district, and a lot of people move here even right now for our school district. And I'd sure love to see us get back to #1. And hopefully that's what I think our superintendent is trying to do now, Mr. Pye. And hopefully we can continue to fund our school district, get the funding from the county and the state and wherever all the funding comes from, where we can continue to upgrade our school system and get more money for our teachers I think there's something going on now in the state where to get some federal help also to pay our teachers more.
Yeah.
And maybe get less kids in the classroom, where we can have the #1 school district in the state.
Absolutely. When it comes to also your law enforcement, making that bigger, that vast, have you thought about that? Like you want to make the law enforcement more of opportunities than they
Yeah,
have?
public safety, as I mentioned, that's where I come from, being in the fire service all
Yeah.
those years, and being public safety director, where the fire and police department fell under my umbrella. Um, that's another one, #1 priority for me is making sure that we continue to keep our law enforcement, with everything they need to keep Summerville a safe place to live. We got a Class 1 fire department. That's the best you can get with ISO is a company that grades fire departments in the United States. And there's only a few in the United States that have a Class 1 rating, and we're one of them. And so you can't get any better than that as far as your grading is concerned. So we've got a Class 1 fire department. We want to continue to hold that class, and the only way you can do that is to keep funding it to keep that classification. So as your town grows, you've got to make sure your fire department's growing with it to keep that Class 1. Our police department always needs manning, always needs cars, always needs equipment, the best you can buy, to keep first your officers trained and with the right equipment where they can do their job.
Got it.
And keep our crime rate as low as we can keep it. And North Charleston is right, right next to us.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of crime in North Charleston because they're third largest city, or either maybe the largest city now, second city in the state. And so just because they're that big, they have way more crime than we have, and we sure don't want them pushing that to us, and that's what they do. A lot of times how you get rid of your crime is you just push it to the next jurisdiction. And so we don't want them pushing it to us, so we got to stay beefed up with our law enforcement to keep that from happening here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, again, I know that you're gonna be a busy man these next 4 years.
I hope to be busy. I'm gonna do everything I can do to make it Summerville a better place.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir.
And for those who are watching this right now, the best thing I can tell you for the mayor of Summerville, keep him lifted up in prayer. We want to make sure that our elected officials are kept up in prayer. We want to make sure that they have all the information they need, make right, sound decisions. You heard the mayor first, live here at the Logan Power Show. January is right around the corner. When he gets sworn in 2020, he's got a plate that's full. And we want to make sure that his plate, that he takes it one meal at a time. And we want to make sure that every decision that he makes, that it's always the best decision for us. Because, hey, it starts at the local level first. It's not about the big state, and I always think about the federal side. That local level means a lot. So, hey, Summerville, South Carolina, I want you all keep your mayor lifted up in prayer, and I want you to keep your family and everyone across this globe lifted up in prayer. From every leader, from the president, every elected official, our judicial system, keep them all lifted up. You may not like what's going on. Best thing I can say is prayer, action, voting. Putting the right person in the right seat. So, hey, it's all the time I got. My name is Calvin of the Logan Power Show. I want you all stay motivated, stay aware of what's going on, and keep your community lifted up in prayer. Hey, I love y'all. See you soon.